The long-awaited day is finally here. Old Forest 1924 has been released to general market.
Yes.
So, Ryan, without further ado,
Yes.
well, want to do,
I.
roll the intro.
Da, 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 da. Do you want to hold the bottle up? I know you like to hold the bottle up. I don't want to touch the bottle and get in trouble. 1924 is a new release from the Old Forester series.
It's in their
Whiskey Row.
Whiskey Row series.
Yes.
It's their first age statement.
Yes.
Part of their core line.
They are following the trend of going by dates that are relevant to the distillery. So 1924 was the year that they got their license during Prohibition to start selling medicinal whiskey, which actually is the reason that Old Forester is still alive to this day, being one of the 6 people that were able to get those releases. You know, because when you're sick during Prohibition, whiskey always made it better. I was really interested to see this as a release because it's a different mash bill.
Yeah, I think this is the first time they're doing a different mash bill since the
Yes.
brand started, right?
I wrote it down because I didn't want to mess it up because it's so slightly variant. So the traditional Old Forester generally has a mash bill of 72% corn, 18 rye, and 10 malted barley. This one has 79% corn and 11% rye. So it's a little bit less rye, a little bit more corn. I'm interested to see how that affects the sweetness because generally Old Forester...
And the barley didn't change?
Barley didn't change, still 10 across the board. Generally Old Forester already to me has a little subtle sweetness to it. So I'm curious if
I'm
upping
expecting
the
to turn that take the sweetness from like a 7 to an 8. It's not a strong sweetness, but it's a sweetness that's noticeable.
Yep.
Here we go.
Without further ado.
By the way, this is MSRP at $115.
Mm-hmm.
This better be worth $115 for a 10-year-old bourbon. Like, I'm an Old Forester fan, but also, do we know the proof on the 1924?
I didn't see it. I could look. Hold on. We'll put it in the notes.
I want to say it's like 100 proof. Yeah, no, it is 100 proof. So for 10-year-old 100 proof, $115.
And an annual release, which means you can only get it at the distillery right now.
No, it's coming to California. It's hitting general market.
Eventually.
Another couple of weeks for California, probably. It's a nationwide release. It's part of the core lineup. It's not an annual.
Oh, so that means MSRP at 150. We'll see it for what? 175.
115.
I'm sorry, 115. We'll see it for 175.
Probably. But everyone's gonna scoop it up. I'm seeing it online for 175, 200, and that's from places that already had it before it was officially released.
Yep, Kentucky.
No, not Kentucky. I want to say like Philadelphia or Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Somewhere not
Look at
Kentucky.
you, Philly. I see you. No more football to watch in Philly, so nothing else to do.
They got to flip bottles.
Yeah, I guess. Sorry, Eagles fans. That was hard.
Fly birds fly.
That was hard. Definitely caramel sweetness that we were talking about with that corn.
Honestly,
It's light.
this isn't worth $115 to me.
It's light.
Way too light.
It's very thin.
I'm surprised. I'm disappointed. I was really excited for this release, and I expected better from Old Forester.
I mean,
I'll just stick with my 1920.
yeah, honestly, 1920, 1910.
Yeah. Old reliable.
$59.99.
I do not like this. The nose is off-putting.
Now you're making me feel bad for liking it.
It's damp. It's mildewy. It's...
So that warm, wet summer of 2014.
we were discussing in another video. We're talking about the 117 bottled in bond. Yes, thank you. Interesting.
I'm actually interested to see, since it's already damp and wet, if I make it more damp and wet.
That sounds good.
Smell that, actually. It's like a black licorice almost.
Yeah, I do get a lot of anise.
All right, sir, what is your final thoughts on 1924?
Pass.
What if it was $50? Would you pass?
Pass.
What if it was free? Would you pass?
No, of course not.
You just got to find the right price point.
I almost said yes. I almost said pass.
I was waiting to see if you would. I actually thought you might. I think this is a $50 whiskey. For a 750 ml, also not a 375, which they're selling at the distillery as 375s.
No, I think it's 750s.
Oh, are they? Okay. A lot of the 117, they've been doing the small release bottles.
Yeah, but this isn't the 117 series. This is
Oh, sorry.
core lineup. This is Whiskey Row series.
There's too many numbers now. Do you think that now, back to that, it's possible for them to oversaturate the market with releases that people get confused and aren't interested anymore?
Yes, absolutely. We've seen it happen before.
Yeah.
Ryan, what are your final thoughts on this?
I think it's a $50 whiskey. I think if I saw this for $50 or bought it for someone or drank it, I would be happy with it. I would not be happy with $100 price point on this.
You're not going to see it for $100. You're going to see
That's
it
what
for
I'm saying.
$2.
Like, if just thinking about like generally market, if they end up lowering the price to $100, whatever, 99, 89, I probably wouldn't pick it up for that price point. Knowing how good 1920 is, knowing how good 1910 is, that you can get for $50. To me, it's good. I think the age statement adds something to it in a nice way, but I think it is light. I think it's a little thin.
Very thin, very light.
Which, don't get me wrong, I think a lot of people also will tend to gravitate towards that, where it's like, people who drink other products from other distilleries that were also in Kentucky just down the road, who like a very light, thin whiskey. But I understand, like, there are people who do gravitate towards that profile. It's just something that I see and I'm like, okay, cool, it's there. I wouldn't buy it. If someone gave it to me, I'd probably drink it. But, I think that hopefully this isn't where this falls. And I think they are onto something with these new ideas. And I like that they're experimenting. I think that one thing you don't see enough with brands is experimentation. So
Yeah.
it's fun to see them,
No, experimentation is always nice and welcome.
Think about Barrel Bourbon and how successful they are and like all the things they're doing, or Bardstown.
Or Old Elk.
Yeah, they're just doing cool, fun things, and that's the stuff that fans want. And that's
I mean, look at Penelope. They got bought by MGP, by Luxco, and they were masters of experimentation, I would say.
yeah. So,
Well, we're getting way off the topic now.
I mean, it's relevant to the topic of expansion of your brand and portfolio and your SKU line.
That's-
Back to 1924, though, it's fine.
For 115 MSRP, I'd pass. We're not even going to be able to see it for MSRP for probably at least a year.
If they have it until release it again next year. So,
Well, it's supposed to be core line, so it's not an annual release, it's a core line.
they say that, and then you don't see it for 6 months. And then suddenly it's next year, and here we are again, releasing it. So.
Cheers, guys. Bye.